What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today's me type out here. Another video, another day, another dollar. I'm out here watching the water right now. I'll show y'all. I'll record a video for y'all so y'all can see. But beautiful, man. Beautiful out here. It's very beautiful. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, I don't know. A couple days ago, on the 28th, I was reading. I had an early morning Bible study, probably about 6 a.m. I got up earlier. I was like, let me just do this. And I fell asleep after it. But what I read was just something so beautiful, and I really want to share that with y'all. Somebody told me to share that with y'all, so let me share it with y'all. But I'm saying it's comfortable. And maybe this will be serious, maybe it won't be, but I just wanted to share this a lot. I really wanted to share it with y'all, so let's do it. And it's beautiful. I forgot to get like a wider camera, a wider angle, but right now I'm content. It's really beautiful, but I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah. So the other day I read Matthew 7:24-27. It was a short passage, but it was very beautiful, and I learned a lot from the passage, even though it's very short. But these were in the words of Jesus. The two foundations. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a sensible man who built his house on the rock. The rain fell, the rivers rose, and the wind blew and pounded the house. Yet it didn't collapse because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and doesn't act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain fell, the rivers rose, the winds blew and pounded the house, and it collapsed. And its collapse was great. That was pretty much all of it. But it's so short but so powerful. You know what I'm saying? So, and I journaled a little bit about it. But at first, when I first thought about it, the first takeaway I had was like, wow. You know, like obviously from the literal aspect, he means don't build a house on sand, build it on something firm, or maybe not just a house, maybe build, you know, who we can be. And I think that's definitely what I'll talk about more. Our foundation. Our foundation. He's saying that our foundation should be firm. You know, whatever the material it is, it should be firm. Whether it's him or whether it's stone, whatever it is we're building, it should be firm. It should have a firm foundation. A firm foundation would go to knock through or stand tall through any type of weather, any type of test, if anything. You know what I'm saying? That's really beautiful. But I'm gonna get into what I wrote down. Just because I'm trying to do. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So I think one of my takeaways was it was just so cool. It was so cool. Just a great parable. It was a great way to speak. You know what I'm saying? It was really beautiful. Another takeaway I had was that in verse 1, I liked the word choice he used. He used things like acts on them, sensible man, and house on the rock. These I feel like are such strong and actionable words that I feel like I realized that he's using these words because these is what describes a sensible man. You have to be strong. You have to act on, you know what I'm saying, something that's firm. You have to be firm as well. I feel like that's a really good point as well. I love that. I love this point. I love this reading. It's great reading. Maybe sensible woman as well, but either way, it means being sensible comes with being strong and actionable. And I love that. I love that. So I split it up into different, I guess, sections. The first section I had was what God is saying. Literally, he's saying it's smartest to build the house on a rock than it is to build the house on sand. And I feel like metaphorically or, what's the word? Why am I blanking? But you know what I mean. I'm sorry, my boy. But metaphorically, he means be careful, be wise, be sensible of where and what you use as foundation. Because a weak foundation will have a strong crumble. You feel what I'm saying? That's very true. A weak foundation will have a strong crumble. I don't want to crumble, but I want to stay strong, you know? There's so many times where that last sentence, we know exactly, I think we all think of something where that hits. Like you battle a sin, but unless your foundation is firm and strong, then you will crumble. Who wants to crumble? It's not crumble cookie. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to crumble, you know, and I think you can really say you don't want to crumble once you start having and realizing that you have that firm foundation as well, you know? Firm foundation is actually what helps you get to I guess that completion of like, you know, I don't battle with the sin no more, whether it's cursing, lying, stealing, or whatever it may be, whether it's lust or whatever it may be that you're battling. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you get through it so you can go through the next one. You grow through what you go through. Yeah, but and then last thing I kind of described it as was what I've learned. I've learned that God is saying that he should be my foundation because he is so strong. Also for the same reason why we give him our battles. He is just so strong. We give to him because we're, at the end of the day, we're just human. So there's many battles that we face, but a lot of them we can't really face just the human body, like the human mind or human strength. You know, we have to give to him who's stronger than us, who's firm, maybe firmer than us, you know what I'm saying, who is our foundation. And with him as our rock and our protector and our foundation, we're able to give whatever we're faced with up to him and not worry about how big the test is, whether it's rain, river, or wind. You know what I'm saying? And that's really cool. And I think my last point I'll add is that one thing I realized I was reading towards the end of this reading, but I realized that our firm foundation is really the independent variable in the situation. If you remember back to grade school, like I think probably like about grade 8, you know what I'm saying? We, like in science, that's when we first really learned about IVs, DVs, all the things that go into making a good, what was it, hypothesis? Yeah, or scientific discovery, or I guess scientific experiment. Those things all go into a good experiment. And I realized that in this scenario, I was originally thinking that our foundation is the IV, but really our IV is the house, which is the independent variable. That's the one that changes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I need a refresher or not, but that's the one that changes, you know? And it's cool that scripture says through Christ we are made new. We are made new. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you're once something different before, but you're now not what you weren't. You know what I'm saying? You are now currently what you weren't anymore. Does that make sense? Or basically I'm just saying like you're new. And since you're new, you're two different things. You're past and you're present. You're, you know what I'm saying, old and new. And it's cool how that realization came about. You know what I'm saying? So, but another point I want to make is that he is our DV. He's the dependent variable. Have him as our foundation, whether we run towards him or we run away from him or we run, you know what I'm saying, with him at all or we don't. Either way, he's always been there. You know, that's why it's like we're always so blessed to have him and, you know, so living with him. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, that's why I say his love is endless because he's always been there through every trial we've had. Like I'm saying, eventually we get through it in the last video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually we get through it because of him. You know what I'm saying? So that's really just a blessing. But, you know, and that really proves that he's our DV because he's never changed the amount of love he's given us. Whether we ran away from him, ran to him, ran with him, ran near him, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, he's never changed the love. That's why they say, like, his love is endless. That's why they say God is love because he's never diminished the love he gave. He's always gave the same amount of love for us, you know, through the circumstance. And I think it's really cool to just think of him as our DV. Even though we change every day, we sometimes love him on Tuesday, and sometimes we look like we don't love him on Wednesday, you know? But yeah, man, that's pretty much that. I feel like this series, I always want to be able to work with the sunset. You know, it might be a little bit dark right now on camera, but I always want to work with that. I want that to be the whole entire emphasis of the video. That maybe I was going to call the series Sunset with the Sun, or maybe Sunset with the Son of Man. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, I don't know. Or something, I don't know. But he's an algae medicine. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you're staying blessed, not stressed. Hope you continue to try your best. Thank you. Bye. I love you.